Consumer internet businesses are about exploiting psychology because people are unpredictable, and so we want to psychologically figure out how to manipulate you as fast as possible and then give you back that dopamine hit. We did that brilliantly at Facebook. Instagram has done it. WhatsApp has done it. Snapchat has done it. Twitter has done it. So there are great examples. WeChat is doing it. There are great examples of exploiting psychology of mass populations of people.
We know for a fact that what all of these systems do, every single one, is it exploits our own natural tendencies in human beings to get and want feedback. And that feedback, chemically speaking, is the release of dopamine in your brain. And so what these feedback loops do, and they exist everywhere, in Call of Duty, in other video games, in social networking sites, they get you to react. And I think that if you get too desensitized and you need it over and over and over again, then you become actually detached from the world in which you live, and you live in front of your screen.
The short-term dopamine-driven feedback loops that we have created are destroying how society works. No civil discourse, no cooperation, misinformation, mistruth. And it's not an American problem. This is not about Russian ads. This is a global problem. So we are in a really bad state of affairs right now, in my opinion. It is eroding the core foundations of how people behave by and between each other.
Today we live in a world now where it is easy to confuse truth and popularity. And you can use money to amplify whatever you believe and get people to believe that what is popular is now truthful and what is not popular may not be truthful. Joe and I, for example, we've been on the other side of climate for a long time, right? And the reality is now I can take money and I can use that through all of these social media systems that exist to hundreds of millions of people, and I can convince all of Joe's friends and everybody like him of my opinion in very subtle and small ways. And he can do the same to me. We can do that about vaccines. We can do that about gay rights. We can do that about bathroom laws. And so I think the question we have to ask ourselves is, how do we live in a world where this is now possible?
Imagine when you take that to the extreme, where bad actors can now manipulate large swaths of people to do anything you want. It's a really, really bad state of affairs. And we compound the problem, right? We curate our lives around this perceived sense of perfection because we get rewarded in these short-term signals, hearts, likes, thumbs up, and we conflate that with value and we conflate it with truth. And instead what it really is fake, brittle popularity that's short-term and that leaves you even more, and admit it, vacant and empty before you did it. Because then it forces you into this vicious cycle where you're like, what's the next thing I need to do now? Because I need it back. Think about that compounded by 2 billion people. And then think about how people react then to the perceptions of others. It's really bad. It's really, really bad.
Look, you're going to do what you're going to do. You're going to spend your time on your phones the way you're going to spend your time, whatever, do it. But just know that it is a drug like any other drug, and you have to find ways of regulating yourself and managing yourself and finding positive outlets to replenish yourself. And don't trick yourself otherwise. Why is it that the average employment rate or the average duration of employment for amongst mid-20-year-olds and 30-year-olds is half of what it used to be? Oh, I'm unsatisfied. Oh, I'm unfulfilled. Well, is it that all of a sudden something is cataclysmically changed in world capitalism? I'm sorry, but the answer is no. It's that your internal sense of fulfillment and belongingness has definitely changed. Because there are other people around you that can amplify your sense that they are happier. But they're not. They're marketing happiness better than you. And I think it has an impact on your general state of happiness, your general state of fulfillment, your general state of belongingness. I really do, and I see it. It is a big deal.
I can control my decisions, which is I don't use this shit. I can control my kids' decisions, which is they're not allowed to use this shit. And that's what I can do. But everybody else has to soul search a little bit more about what you're willing to do, because your behaviors, you don't realize it, but you are being programmed. It was unintentional. But now you got to decide how much you're willing to give up, how much of your intellectual independence. And don't think, oh yeah, not me, I'm a genius, I'm at Stanford. You're probably the most likely to fall for it. Because you were checkboxing your whole goddamn life. No offense, guys.